All right, welcome back to Let's Learn Fighting Games. This is the Dragon Ball FighterZ segment. I'm here with my man Jake Ryan in the house and brkrdave. These guys are familiar faces from Wednesday Night Fights and many anime events, especially my man over here. This guy is like a renaissance man in the anime games. brkrdave, why don't you let everybody know kind of a little bit of your background?
Well, I started fighting games about a decade ago. BlazBlue CT, as in the first iteration was. Then I went to Evo for Persona 4 Arena, top 8. Started to really just like focus on actually playing fighting games correctly, and eventually I started playing Under Night and Dragon Ball, which happened to both be at Evo this year, so I'm very excited about that.
Nice. And my man Jake Ryan?
So the first game I ever started playing was Ultra Street Fighter 4, and I was an Evil Ryu player, so I really loved fundamentals, footsies, and everything like that. I started going to locals at Wednesday Night Fights. I never broke a top 8. I got top 16 like one time ever. And then I stopped playing for the longest time, played a little bit of 5 at home, and then Dragon Ball came out. And I'm the biggest Dragon Ball fan. I got all the anime tattoos on my arm. And
That's right.
It was the first time I had ever gone to Evo because I had gone for Street Fighter 4, and I went 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, and that's the first time I ever got out of pools in a fighting game at Evo. So it was amazing. I got like 236 out of like the 2,500 something. So it's one of the first fighting games I was able to take incredibly competitively, and I actually loved commentating it. And I'm able to bring this kind of energy, and everybody calls me Budget Sajam, but you're going to remember me as Jake Ryan. Always remember that. So coming to Wednesday Night Fights, able to talk about it. And
you won something from Wednesday Night Fights, didn't you?
Yeah. I actually was able to win this fight stick from Wednesday Night Fights, the Dragon Ball FighterZ Panthera, the Razor Panthera. This thing is amazing, and got its own little 4-star ball top right there because I play main characters. Isn't that right, brkrdave?
I'm actually mad about that. I want that.
He wanted it, and I'm like, yo, dog, what's good?
Hey, Jake.
Yeah.
Didn't you make that stick even awesomer?
Yeah, I have the 4-star Dragon Ball on top. I modded it custom.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, how did I do it again?
Didn't you get that thing signed by somebody?
Oh, no. That was Dadpool.
That was Dadpool?
Yeah, Dadpool got a stick signed by both the voice actors, and I got to watch it happen. And I'm like,
wow.
Hey, at least I got further at the LCQ than you did. Smokes.
So, this is a silly question, but I mean, because of everybody knows what Dragon Ball is, man. But like, I just gotta ask you anyways, like, why this one over most of the other, I guess, anime games?
Well, the main thing is that it's two-dimensional.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so 2D fighting games definitely, like, I feel like they offer you more as a fighting game player to really delve into the specifics of the game. Player-player interactions a lot more than the 3D or even 4D if you count going up and down. Fighting games that like the other Dragon Ball games.
The Budokais and everything like that. Extreme Butoden and Super Butoden were able to like tap into it, but the games were incredibly wacky. The assists were broken, and with Arc System behind the game, there's a lot of this sense of balance where right now, after the latest patch, a lot of people are mid-tier, and there's some characters that are just outright like crazy, like Bardock and Kid Buu and Adult Gohan and things like that, but there's a level playing field, and especially with the team fighting game, you get that 2D aspect of an Arc Systems game, and then you get that team aspect where you can express yourselves through certain characters that, say, in a one-on-one fighting game may not be able to excel. I'm looking at you, Guilty Gear, with Potemkin. But you get that situation where, unlike the 3D games where all these random factors are there and you have these crazy dodges and stuff like that, player versus player intricacies happen because the team matchups actually matter, and your character who couldn't be that great actually shines because nobody's seen him before.
So, okay, let's go into training mode. So whoever's driving right now, go to training mode real quick. Now, as I said in the last segment, like, as competitive players, we are just training monsters. We want to know how to play this game before we go to arcade. I mean, some of us may go to arcade just to kind of like see what kind of game it is. Some of us just might go to gravitate to story because, I mean, you're a lore monster. This is Dragon Ball.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But if you're jumping into the world of competitive fighting games, this is where we live. So go ahead and start training mode and tell us, like, what characters. I don't think I updated this one, by the way, to like.
All right,
2.
well, we'll see.
Yeah. See, I still need to buy some of those stuff. But like, looking at the character selection, like, why do you pick the characters you pick when you first play Dragon Ball?
So for me, a big part of it was like main character staying power. The first team I ever picked for Dragon Ball, I was like, yo, Goku Black is sick as hell. And then I picked Goku, Vegeta. That was my day one team. That was day one.
Pick BrkRdave's characters when we first started.
So my first team was actually Beerus,
He's a god.
Piccolo,
Mr. Big Green.
and Goku.
And Goku. Okay, so go ahead and start it up. Now,
But before we get deeper,
Yeah.
just a reminder to, if you got any questions for the hosts,
yes.
get on Twitter and tweet at @LevelUpSeries with the hashtag LLFGC. It's right there on the bottom left. And I'll be keeping an eye on that hashtag for questions.
Yep, and one more thing too. You know, this segment, all segments, 100% of the proceeds go to Goodwill. Because the main event for the charity event is coming out April 27th to 28th. So if you guys like what you see, love this information, you guys could donate to a great cause. There's a contribute button in the description, under the Twitch description below. This says contribute. Or if you guys just want to kick back and watch the show, that's all right too. Have fun with it. And as Kilby said, if you have questions, hashtag LLFGC so we can answer back. So, all right, now into Dragon Ball. Obviously stage, whatever looks cool. And you can actually pick your music in this too, which is dope. So, you guys are in here, and the beauty about most of, especially anime games, do an amazing job with their like mission modes to find out what combos are kind of like entry level to intermediate and expert. A lot of fighting games do this, but anime games have a lot of structure to this. But we won't like dig into that deeply yet, because this is assuming you have never played this before, or you have a little bit of interest in this. How do you even get started?
So a big part about it, if BrkRdave's got to go.
I think we start at button select.
Yeah, we start at button select, and that's always one of the things you want to do. I typically go for a Marvel 2 kind of layout where I do light, medium, heavy, and S in a square, and then I have my assist on my third buttons on my fight stick. That's every button layout is going to be different. Maybe you play on hitbox, maybe you play on a Hori pad, maybe you play on a keyboard, maybe you play on a Guitar Hero controller.
Maybe you play on a pad.
Maybe you play on a pad.
There's a lot of pad monsters out there nowadays just busting asses with this thing.
So button layout is incredibly important, and understanding what buttons you have. And as you can see on BrkRdave's side, you have a light attack, a medium attack, a heavy attack, and a special attack. So LMHS is typically what the representations are for those, and then your Z Assist 1, Z Assist 2. Dragon Rush is your grab. Super Dash it's a full screen homing attack. I like to think of it as a jump in Street Fighter, because jumping in feels really good in Street Fighter at the low levels, but as soon as somebody knows how to anti-air it, you're going to feel real bad. Now, there's a lot of mechanics behind that as well, and then also we have a thing called Key Charge. Not many people do it, and then Vanish. Vanish is full screen. If you've ever seen Dragon Ball, everybody's teleporting around the screen, and you teleport right behind your opponent. It seems super cool at the earliest levels, and you can get awesome combo extensions with it, but again, the better you get, the easier it is to punish it. It's one of those things where it's a risk-reward situation. And then we have our own little kind of X Factor, Sparking Blast. Every time a character dies, it gets a little bit stronger. But we'll touch on that when we play our games.
Yeah, so like what's important to know just off the bat is not every single move yet. It's just your basic commands, because you have to explore what these things do. And it comes with creativity too, because without kind of being curious, then you're not going to care, and the game is going to be stale for you down the road. So watch, go ahead and go into the match, just like have them neutral. Right when he picks
I would
his
say
buttons.
that if you're playing on pad, actually the default is pretty good to just like go with. Obviously, since sticks have R1 where the O button would be, that's going to look different on our screen right here.
Cool. So we're going to go ahead and resume this.
Okay, yeah. So when you're moving around, you got to figure like your light button is going to be the shortest attack, or at least the quickest attack. Mediums, as you can explain, like the low mediums is like the tech sweeps most of the time into you know, this game is a very chain-based or link-based game where one move goes into the next move. So can you explain a little bit about like what the combo systems, how do they start, and how do they develop?
So when you first pick up the game, it's you have this option called auto comboing, and every character has an auto combo. It all looks a little different. They all have different properties. So say I'm playing Goku Black, and I actually want to show my inputs here. So let's go ahead and info display settings. Let's show our command history and everything like that.
Yeah,
so
this is pretty important.
So now you can see my commands. You can see everything I'm doing here, and like that. So I could do this combo pressing a bunch of different buttons, do something really like that's kind of simple, or I can do this.
Oh yeah, push one button.
Now check out the L's that he's inputting.
The L's, yeah.
And I'm getting a full combo. The super dash is inputted, and it just completes a combo. There's also an M version. So if I press my medium button over and over again, it cancels into a super. So at the very beginner level, two people could be playing and they can just be wailing at each other, having a great time, going for everything, but it's not too optimal. I got 2,000 damage.
You can do it with the H button too.
You can do it, yeah, you can do it with the H button right there as well. So, and as you see, very short combo, but it's a combo nonetheless. But after you do those things, you start to realize, well, what's more depth of the game? So in this game, certain characters have what you call reverse beat. So you can normally, in traditional combos, you go to light, to medium, to heavy. And sometimes you can go from medium back to light. But reverse beat is, say, I can go from medium to light at any time with that character, so on and so forth.
On hit.
On hit.
On hit.
So if you get the hit, then you get to continue to go differently throughout your strings. But traditional combo will look like light, light, down, medium, stand, medium, light, light, down. And that's just basic.
Can we add my controller to the screen?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
we can. So let's go ahead and here, actually, we would have to go back to character select, correct?
No. Go to enemy settings.
Enemy settings.
And
That's right.
Training dummy
Controller.
Cool. Perfect. Now I could play. Now, the reverse speed that you just mentioned, that's generally from an air series.
Yes.
On the ground, you can't do like a B button or M button into an L button unless you are 1% of the cast. So generally speaking, you're only going to be reverse canceling after your M button in the air. See how this is his M right here. This is his jab in the air. And what you can do is double overheads. These overheads, you have to block high. So could you block low for us? So these are lows. These are highs. Almost all aerials are highs.
And that was a cursed overhead right there. He hit me. He hit me both sides.
So if you want to do that reverse beat that he was just mentioning, ML, that you can get that double overhead in the air as a mix-up for your opponent.
Yeah, that's the sickest thing in here because you think the aerial assault is over, and then they can either do that or not.
Yeah, he could just go straight into the low.
Straight into the low. Yeah.
Or he could do that double overhead.
Yeah. So this game has obviously the beginner-friendly combos with the pushing the same button. But then, of course, you want to expand on optimizing damage. You actually do have to have some research with your combo routes, especially the ones where, in this game, if you start a combo with a light, you're not going to do as much damage as if you were to combo somebody with a medium or a heavy starter. That's just the way the damage scaling works for this game. So
if I hit somebody with this button, that's a little flick. It's not going to do very much damage.
Yep.
Like, that's going to do about 30% of his health. But if I start with my stomp...
And look at my health just start to evaporate right here.
Yeah.
Didn't even finish the combo, and he already did more damage than the light version. No supers, anything like that either.
Whereas the light...
gets a full extension off of that light combo, and it did less damage than when he dropped it.
And
so
your touch of death combos are generally going to start from these mediums or the heavies.
And that's another thing that your sparking is used for. So a lot of people will always be trying, oh, well, how do I do a TOD? Or what do I start it off of? It's like you get a 2M and you press your sparking, and then you're able to get a great situation out of that.
We'll get all to that craziness.
Oh, yeah.
So we're at the one-player game. How does the team work in this game?
Cool. So in situations, you have to worry about your point character. He has his lights, his mediums, his heavies, and his specials. But you also have your two friends in the back. Each assist is different, and they all serve a different function. Say you're not very comfortable in your approach with neutral. You got a beam assist. I call Goku. He backs me up full screen. Say someone's relentlessly assaulting me, and they're vanishing recklessly. I have my best friend Vegeta, and say, look, he's going to vanish on me. And all right, I'm going to block it this time. All right,
Well, there it is. Yeah, you can use it defensively like that. So it's good to explore what not only your character selection and your one-player attack does, but you have to find out what your assist action does when you're not the main character in the team.
Yes.
So that's really important, and that goes into how team compositions start to build up. So how do you build? What's the difference from a bad team composition to a good team composition?
I'll let you take this one, Eddie.
So, generally speaking, you want to have two types of assists on your team. You want to have one short-range assist and one long-range assist for most teams. So Piccolo, for example, has my short-range assist, that orb that just travels slowly across the screen. The good thing about having Goku in the back is he covers your full screen option. So if you haven't already seen the Super Dash, this is your homing dash from full screen. It does track. It can be anti-aired, but it does always track to where the opponent, no matter where I attack him from, it's going to automatically go to where he is. So that short-range assist is going to help you for right after you use that homing dash. So homing dash into the short-range assist is very strong. Some teams or some players, what they'll do is they'll use that long-range assist, homing dash in, and then use that short-range assist, and then they're doing the pressure right afterward.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, pressure is extremely important, especially in this game where there is an onslaught of attacks, but that gets into the extreme hardcore aspect. So if somebody's jumping into the game, they're kind of like, man, there's so many characters. How do you even build a character? So we kind of showed you what besides their assist, what do you look for in a good character? At least where the current update is at, because the game has updated a bit, so some properties and moves have changed. So if you were to, how about this? Pick your mains, or at least your characters that you would normally use in tournament now.
Okay.
I think it would be a better explanation there.
Cool.
So that was entry level. See, everybody, it's okay to gravitate to characters that interest you into the game. They may not be good, but at least you're exploring their moveset. You're finding out why certain moves are not good, or moves that happen to be good, and play process of elimination and move on to the next. And it's okay to be wrong. All of us are wrong. And
Yamcha.
Yeah, thinking
that's right.
Characters are good or from the get-go, but end up being bad as we start to figure out their weaknesses. So all right, now you guys got your teams.
So for me in particular, Vegeta is aggressive. Blue Vegeta is aggressively mid-tier. However, my other two characters, Bardock being one of the top one or top two characters, and then Super Saiyan Goku being another one of those higher tier characters, allows me to play this character. I play him, I'm one of the only blue Vegeta players, and I'm actually starting to learn other characters because I found that I am limited in my approach options. So when you play a character, you're looking for someone who has great ability to approach with their normals, great ability to approach in utilizing their assists, not only on point but in the back, and then also how they synergize with the team. So a big problem with, while I love Blue Vegeta, he loses a lot in neutral to a lot of other people. So let's look at my Air H. This is my Air H, right? Now let's look at Majin Buu's.
Very long. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's a good point character right there.
That's a big arm.
Yeah, that's a long, covers a lot of range, and it can kind of keep you at bay. So in that case,
just the H on the ground.
Yeah,
and that's my H.
So that's his H. That's my H.
Yeah. So why would you pick a character that has such short range? How do you switch, right? You have to switch to match the character at hand, and what would be your approach in now? Like, so you're gonna most likely keep this character up front, depending on who you fight against, correct?
Yeah. Oftentimes in these situations, while my character is not that great in neutral on its own, he gives me unique opportunities.
For mix-up.
For example, unique opportunities to mix up that other characters wouldn't have. So Blue Vegeta as an assist, while at first it doesn't look like it has that much of a practical use, it is quite deceiving. So, and I've hidden, I'm not sure anyone who's played Dragon Ball or watched Dragon Ball competitively knows who Kmart is. Kmart is one of the best Japanese players in the world, and Blue Vegeta offers a certain mix that even made him go, huh? What? And he was unsure because, one, he hadn't seen the character, and two, it was something that's just not widely shown. So having a character that, say, is mid-tier and not played as much, kind of like Majin Buu as well, there's two guys that play Majin Buu well, Alioun and brkrdave. He's got a lot of tricky things you won't see. So one of the things I can do, and brkrdave has seen this a million times, but we're going to act like he doesn't, and he's going to respect all my pressure. I go in for a normal string, I call my Blue Vegeta assist, and I grab him because he wants to block. He sees the big blue ball, and now I've grabbed him.
But I would say generally what you're looking for in your point character, good neutral, which we saw that Majin Buu has some pretty good neutral. But the second thing is you can put a character on as your first character that doesn't necessarily have the best neutral because they are backed up by their assists. So you can go for a mix-up character as your front character, and because they're backed up by whatever is coming behind them. So, for example, what I have is Yamcha's assist. Look at that assist.
Oh, yeah.
So super dash on me and show them what that does. Show them what happens if you super dash.
You have your homing dash, and then I'm in there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm stuck. And I have to hold this. I have to respect that. The same thing holds true for me on Blue Vegeta. Now, say he's got such a big H, I can't really approach. My super dash plus my beam, I now get a turn. I get my turn to play. My buttons aren't as good, but my super dash sure is. So I home in, go in, and it's my turn to play.
Yep, so you definitely have to base your approach. If you lack in the range, you got to use your assist and your mobility to start figuring out routes. And then, it comes with fundamentals of the game. Like, we're not all expecting you guys to know all the ranges just yet, but you do have to get hit a lot to figure out these ranges. Before it turns nice and crispy, it's to the tournament matches you guys see every week. It's us fooling around, having fun, seeing different ways into whiff punishing. Somebody throws a move out there, and then you counter it, right? Somebody does it, then they're scared to throw that move out.
Yeah. And
then you dash in and you cause chaos. So then brkrdave, how did you structure your team? Like what to what it is now?
So right now I'm actually switching between Fat Buu and Small Buu, but basically the main part of what's behind my front character. So I have Teen Gohan and Yamcha. So the good thing about having a DP assist, look at this DP assist, it goes high into the sky. So that way, if my opponent is actually jumping, as they tend to do, if I'm dominating the ground with these Ki blasts, then I go ahead and block in the air, by the way. If they're just jumping away from you, I have this DP assist to cover the air and the ground. So just jump away. Don't jump. Generally, you want to play neutral in this game from full screen because once you get into these mid-ranges, it gets very scrambly. So you'll see a lot of the top players actually play from full screen the neutral game. But that does involve them going into the air very often. So when someone's getting into the air, you have that DP assist to cover just in case he's not jumping, but it's okay.
Yeah,
so that's what it does. It hits them out of the sky.
Yeah, one major thing that this game has it has evolved to from even the beginning is once you make somebody block strings in this game, it's almost like, oh damn, you're almost checkmated because now you have to respect the high-low mix-up, and you have to watch for the cooldown period of their assists, which is extremely important because that kind of gives you the visual cue. I'm like, all right, his initial flurry of attacks are all blocked, but now you have to wait for his assist to come out, which gives him extended time to attack you even more. And then, one more variation with the last assist.
So let's put on actually go to training mode, our training settings.
Yeah.
And we're going to turn actually the assist cooldown back to normal recovery. Right now we had it on the easy mode, the quick recovery. That is just for training mode. But check out what happens when I use my assist right now. He's actually grayed out.
Yep.
And he's going to be grayed out for quite a while actually. So you'll see that he slowly comes back. And then I can use him again. Now, if you're going to use your assist mid-pressure, like this, then you have to wait for him to come back. And I'm going to have Jake block low. So I'm using my assist mid-pressure. I'm continuing to pressure. Even if I continue hitting him, notice my assist is not coming back yet until there was actually a gap.
Yep.
The moment there's a gap, you'll start to get that assist back. And if you eat the stagger from your opponent, then you might eat another 10 seconds of pressure.
Yeah, that's the crazy part about this game, but it's also the fun part because people just they love to attack. You know, you can keep going and going and see how many repetitions you can get.
All I have to do is make him respect the 2L like this, and suddenly my assists are back.
Oh, yeah.
And say, well, I don't want to block. I'm just going to try to mash out. So I'm going to hold down back, and I'm going to mash L. See what happens if he staggers properly. Sometimes you get out, but say I go for a bigger button like my medium, and I get scooped up, and now it is his turn, and now I'm stuck.
Yep. So now, after you open somebody up, meaning you hit them either high or low, how do the supers, show us an example of optimizing your super combo damage.
Ooh, so I wanna show something that's actually pretty interesting about the new Blue Vegeta change. He's one of the characters that can do his level 1 twice in one combo. So if you say I do my Niagara Pummel, which is his level 1 normally, so brkrdav's just gonna eat this. I get this nice punching animation where I shoot him down to the ground, right? So in an optimizing setting, and say I have 7 bars and like Blue Vegeta is my only character, all right, how am I gonna get the most out of this? If I hold these instead, he goes flying, and I get to continue pressing my combo.
Oh, wow.
So instead of getting like 2,000 damage, I could potentially get, let's just see. Let's see how much I can do. Fight.
Yo, the damage.
Yeah,
and that's not even an optimal combo right there.
But notice if the... So we saw my spark earlier. Jay, could you use your spark? Notice how he's glowing red right now.
Oh, that too? Yep.
Yes. So generally speaking, that is your best way to optimize damage and gain meter. The point of gaining meter is that you can do things like this. After you do a combo, like let's say I end my combo, you can tag one character into another character, and then you can even tag into a cinematic for your last character.
Yep, so every character has a standard super, either 1 or 2, plus level 3.
And that's what we just saw with Teen Gohan.
Yep, yep.
And then
some characters have a special level 5 super.
Oh, yeah, the family ones? Yeah.
Yes.
And you can push it out, too. Oh, yeah.
Look at how much raw damage.
Yo, 100 hits.
So now let's look at what Blue Vegetas can do, and let's just add Spark into the situation.
Yo, man.
Because we're gonna punch right through.
Oh, you can punch after this?
Yeah.
Boom.
So there's not actually that many characters that can do a level 5 super. Teen Gohan and the blue characters actually can. Vegeta Blue, Goku Blue. Those are the level 5 special characters. Now, the reason I play Teen Gohan over Adult Gohan, who actually has better normals, better average damage, is actually that Teen Gohan has a much better super after I do my first super than Adult Gohan. This super right here, where he looks to the sky, that's actually doing a ton of damage. And plus, if I have my extra bars handy, I can kill the character with that level 5 super.
Nice.
So generally, when you're speaking about like what kind of team do you want to build, you want to have like a character you can tag into that does a lot of damage. And sometimes it's a character like Goku. Goku has a really good level 3. He's actually good for everything. If you're just learning the game, Super Saiyan Goku is a really good option to put right on your anchor spot. He has a good, level 1 super, level 3 super. He has good neutral. So But my team, you know, Yamcha level 1, not so hot. Team Gohan level 1's really good. Level 3 is really good.
All right, and then I think this game's got throws, but it's kind of unique. It's not like where they're right next to you and they put their arms out. They actually dash into you, right? How does it look like?
So we have, it's called a Dragon Rush. There are many ways to get out of the Dragon Rush. Now, this is actually how far it goes. It goes about half the screen, actually. So I can actually throw him from about there unless he jumps. Oop, I whiffed it.
There you go. And then you can also get out of it, correct?
You can actually tech the Dragon Rush either by pressing buttons, or the more traditional way is actually to press your own Dragon Rush. And you'll get that cinematic where you have the teching animation. And so Jake actually pressed a punch button to break that Dragon Rush. So if you're mashing buttons, you can actually get out of Dragon Rushes as well.
Nice, and you can do it in the air as well.
You can do it in the air as well.
And when you get it, you get a combo opportunity. And there's one more thing, too, that you can get off of the Dragon Rush. Is it the snaps, right? Okay.
So I wanna hit him.
Yep. And notice my assists are actually locked out right now.
Yeah.
That little X's over my characters are showing that I can't actually use any other characters while I've been snapped into the game. And I had to eat 8 seconds of mix-up.
Yeah, this game is dirty. All right, check this out. I think our tutorial is, we got you, you know, feet wet in the tutorial. Let's see these guys play a match. Yeah.
And as a precursor, while I have been able to take rounds off of brkrdave, I have actually never beaten him in tournament in the entire lifespan of Dragon Ball being around.
So we're going to want to go to versus mode, though.
No. Always practice. You would in fighting games, people would define a certain player as their demon. brkrdave is my demon.
Your demon.
Yeah, my demon.
Now, the main screen does have a nice little walking thing that you can go around, but you can teleport around the screen as well. If you want to maximize your time in training mode, definitely use your teleporting ability.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, I think I'm actually going to choose Kid Buu so that we can see the epitome of what goes on your first character. Kid Buu has very good normals just like Majin Buu, but what he actually also has is good air special moves that travel towards the ground. Sort of like your homing dash, except they beat other homing dashes.
Yeah, and stage selection may not seem that intricate to you guys, but red stage, if you pick all red characters, you're kind of scummy. You can't see the stuff.
Space stage, black characters.
Yeah, so a lot of people will tend to go to Cell Games Arena because it has the same start side and everything like that, but we're going to get started right now.
So dive kicks plus assists are really good in this game. Just like most team games.
Oh, that was dirty. Yeah,
so that's your mix-up character on point right there.
And the only reason he was able to get that situation is because Yamcha kept me locked down and I had to guess left, right.
Oh, then the reflect.
That is actually something we didn't talk about. So reflect is an option, one of your defensive options that is few and far between in Dragon Ball that say he guesses that I want to press a button, he just smacks me away. And now, because of that, I lose my character. He gets an advantageous situation, and now I'm down to only 2.
Ooh. Yo, this little character.
Yeah, remember those?
Team Gohan has like the smallest range, but it's one of the most mobile characters in the game. Very fast.
And he sparks right there, actually drops the combo. Unfortunate for brkrdave, but I have my TH on deck, so we're good.
Yeah, but he's slowly getting his life back. Oh, there it ended. So if you pop your sparking, if all your team members are there, you get the shortest time with it. So if you have one solo character left, you have the longest time and you get the biggest damage with it.
Oh my God, he's mashing!
That's my auto combo right there.
That's him mashing, and even in high levels of Dragon Ball, sometimes your auto combo is the best option.
Oh.
Now he used his spark to defend. He got out of my block screen, and now he's actually getting a chance to attack. So if you're worried about losing your character, that spark is not a bad idea.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, and that's another situation where a lot of people think, oh, at low level, raw tagging is really bad. I'm going to get hit by a 2-8. It's actually one of the best defensive options in the entire game.
Too slow. Oh, he's still alive, man. You got meter. Oh no.
The reversal. Oh, so right there too, what we didn't get to mention is a clash. So in a clash situation, you have an option where it's rock, paper, scissors. You get to choose,
you're done.
do I punch? Yeah, I'm dead. You get to choose, do I punch again? Do I reflect? Maybe he's going to go for a grab. And it's this RPS situation that you have to make a decision. If you make the wrong decision, you die, like me.
So, what makes this game fun for you guys? Like, what makes you keep wanting to play it? The game's been out for over a year now. What is it about this game that gravitates?
One, I love the characters. I love Dragonball. But two, it feels so good when you're able to like run your offense and you're making the right reads, and it feels so nice to get in your opponent's head. And like, I've seen Eddie do it. I've done it myself. Like, I have this little pork chop rock that I do.
Pork chop rock.
You start feeling yourself, and you're like, man, that felt really good when you get them with your own creative mix-ups, or maybe your character doesn't have all the tools, but you use everything you have to the best of your ability. So that's what I really like about it. And then like solo comebacks on people when they like underestimate you or they start getting a little cocky and you start playing solid, feels so good. Feels so good.
I mean, you spend hours and hours in training mode in this game because it's a team game. You have to learn 3 different characters, so you learn all of these different mix-ups, all this stuff, all these combos that you can do, and then you do actually get a chance to do them against the opponent, and it's just very satisfying.
Oh yeah.
If you enjoy the fact that they patch the game almost every 3 or 4 months, it's always changing, so you never know what character is going to be good from one day to the next. We just had a big patch. It's totally rocking what everyone thought was good, and it's always an exploration to figure out what's the best thing to do at this moment.
Yeah, man. Guys, Dragon Ball has been out for some time now, and shout outs to Bandai Namco for having the Dragon Ball World Tour, which took place for Season 1 already. It was an amazing event that ended up at the Red Bull summoning event. Shout outs to Red Bull as well. And they announced that they're also running a Season 2 event this year. So, you know, you guys should expect more details about that very, very soon. And, you know, I want to give a big shout out also, of course, to our co-hosts, Jake Ryan and brkrdave, for showing us a little bit about Dragon Ball. There's so much to discuss about this game, so we just barely scratched the surface. Hopefully we can do more of these, of course, with your guys' interest. If you guys do like what you see, tweet it out. Let people know. Use the hashtag LLFGC. We're gonna still rock it tonight. Last word, guys. About the game.
If you're able to be in the area and you're able to come, please come to our tournaments. Like, we love to help people learn the game, and while it is intimidating, and I've never beaten brkrdave, it's one of the best things in the world to play him every week and get better and better and better. And we want to help you guys get better too. So don't be afraid to come out to your locals, because I'm running the tournament every single week and trying to get it as fast as possible. And it's a great learning environment. Everyone wants to help each other, and let's all get good at Dragon Ball together, right? We got to beat the Japanese players. We got to do it.
Let's competitive series, man. You?
Just ditto. I mean, come to the Wednesday night fights. Figure out where your locals are. Obviously, net play is an option, but you're going to learn a lot more when you play face-to-face with more people. So find where your scene is. Sometimes it's even at your school. So, cool. But we'd love to see you here.
All right. You heard it from these guys, man. Thank you guys so much for watching the Dragon Ball segment. Coming up next, Eunice. So, yep. So we'll see you guys in a little bit.